welcome to Santalan Yoga. This week in our class, we're taking a look at balancing our right and our left sides. So for pranayama, we will do our Kumbhaka breath, but we will also incorporate nadi shodhana, which is alternate nostril breath. And this will enable us to balance our Pingala side, our solar side, and our Buddha side, our lunar side. For the Asana for today, we'll also be balancing our right and our left sides so that we can feel truly balanced within our breath, our mind, and our body. So props for today, you might like to have a strap or a tie or whatever it is that you have with your disposal. Scarf also works really well. You might also like to have a couple of blocks or a couple of books to support you. And if it's cold outside, which it is this week, you might also like to have a blanket too for the end of class. So grab your props and then I will meet you back here. So as always, we will start with our pranayama, so finding a comfortable seat, whether that's crossed legs or on the shins, rolling the shoulders back and down, nice and soft with the shoulders, head and neck. And you can either lower your gaze to the front of your mat, or if you're comfortable, just closing the eyes. So coming into the breath, breathing in through the nose, back the throat, down to the lungs, out the lungs, back the throat, out through the nose. Starting to slow down the breath. Bring your awareness to being here on your mat. Just being here now. Now starting to count the breath. So without forcing the breath, just making a note of how long it takes you to do one inhale and one exhale. If you already have a breath count, then just go straight to your comfortable breath count. Otherwise, just observing the breath, just noticing the breath. You may find that your breath varies from round to round, and that's quite normal. Just identifying what the median breath is, whether that's a count of 3 or 4, maybe even 5. And now just taking that median count and attempting to every round do that same breath count for the inhale and the exhale. And of course, if you feel out of breath at all, do drop that breath count down at least one count so that you don't feel like you're gasping breath. You want to be nice and relaxed. And we'll do one more round of breath. And now for the Nutty Shoulder. What we'll do is we'll take one of our hands, either right or left, whichever feels most comfortable. And you can either place the index finger and the middle finger between the eyebrows, so the eyebrow center, or you can curl all three middle fingers under and just leave the thumb and the pinky finger sticking out. So just find which position feels more comfortable. Index finger and middle finger is quite nice because it gives you somewhere to place your hand. So placing the hand in the center will block the right nostril off, and we'll breathe in just through the left nostril. So same breath count that you were doing before, breathing in through the left. Closing both nostrils off, out through the right. In through the right. Locking both nostrils, opening the left, out through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. And out through the left. So in your own time, we'll do a few rounds of Nutty Shoulder. We'll do one more round. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. When you've finished your round, just placing your hand back down on your knee or in your lap. And taking 3 breaths through both nostrils, breathing in through the nose, back the throat, down into the lungs. Out of the lungs, back the throat, out through the nose. When you've completed your last round, slowly opening the eyes, bringing your awareness back into the room. And just notice how that breath is feeling. You're feeling a little bit more balanced, more relaxed. Perhaps the concentration is a bit better in the mind. All right, so today we'll start off by standing in the center of our mat. So moving out of your seat, placing any cushions or pillows off to one side. Standing in the center or at the top of your mat. Feet at a comfortable distance. You can step up and down a few times to find the natural distance for yourself. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Raising the arms up overhead. Interlacing the fingers, bringing the palms together. And rotating those palms up towards the ceiling. And dropping the backs of the hands down to the top of the head. All right, as we inhale, we're going to reach the arms away and we're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet. Really reaching those arms away out towards the ceiling will help with your balance. And as we exhale, lowering the feet, lowering the arms, lowering the hands down to the top of the head. All right, again, inhaling, reaching away, lifting up, growing tall. And exhaling, dropping down. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time, inhaling. Let's pause at the top here for a moment. Really lengthen and strengthen those arms away up as if you want to touch the ceiling, and exhaling with control, releasing back down. Keeping the hands where they are, stepping the feet out to at least hip width apart. Inhaling, arms growing tall. Exhale, bending to the right, stretching through that left side of the body. Reaching those left arm away, inhaling to the center, exhale to the right, really reaching up and out through that right arm, inhale, center, exhale to the right, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale. As we bend to the side, make sure that we're not collapsing in through the ribs. You won't really want to be lifting up and out, lengthening that spine. Inhale, center. To the left. Lifting up and out of that sideways. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time to each side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Bringing the arms down to shoulder height. This time we're going to be rotating through the waist. So inhaling, center. Exhale, twisting towards the right, bring the left hand on top of the right shoulder, right hand coming around into the small of the back. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. In your own time. Once more to the right and the left. Back to center. All right. Now opening up through the shoulders. We've done a little bit of warming up through the arms and the shoulders. This time we want to get some nice stretch through the front of the chest. So bringing the feet back together, hip width apart. Rotating the arms down, thumbs pointing down towards the floor. And we're going to bring those arms behind the back. I'll just turn around so that you can see. Now we've got a few options here. So you can either bring the fists together behind the back. You can cross the forearms over. Or the full expression is bringing the palms together, rotating the palms, and bring those palms up in between the shoulder blades. So choose whichever variation that you're able to do today. Remembering to soften through the shoulders, roll those shoulders back and down. With all the variations, if that's fists together or palms together, make sure we're pushing those hands in together with a little bit of tension there. That helps open up through the chest. If the forearms are together, again, rolling those shoulders back and down and squeezing those shoulder blades together. So taking a few breaths here. Finding a spot on the wall to focus on at eye line or a little bit above eye line. One more breath. And then very slowly and gently releasing those arms, releasing the hands. Nice and slow, maybe giving them a little wiggle. It can be quite an intense stretch through the forearms as well as the shoulders. All right, for this next one, you might like to grab your strap or your scarf, depending on how tight your shoulders are. So if we're using the strap, what we'll do is we'll place the strap into our right hand. Again, I'll turn around for this to see what we're doing. So strap into the right hand, left hand, thumb pointing down like we did just before. Bringing that arm back and around in between the shoulder blades. Right arm reaching up overhead and dropping that strap down. Grab the strap with the left hand. Opening up through that right armpit, reaching that elbow up towards the ceiling, left shoulder, rolling that left shoulder back and down, opening up through the chest here. Remember, keeping the spine nice and straight and tall. If you find that you're hunching over, do please use that strap. Don't try and grab your fingers if it's not within your reach. You just want to find that point of resistance, not bring ourselves anything. So again, finding a spot on the wall to focus on as we breathe into the stretch here. Inhaling, growing tall. Exhale, soften through those shoulders. One more breath. All right, releasing that left arm away from the strap, right arm coming down. Again, give the arms a little shake if they need one. All right, left side this time, facing the strength in the left hand, right hand, thumb pointing down, rotating that shoulder around, bending at the elbow, bringing those fingers in between the shoulder blades, lifting the left arm up, dropping that strap down, grab the strap with the right hand, keep holding on with the left hand. Right. Make sure that we have a little bit of tension in the strap, we don't want it to be slack. So walking those fingers together. Once you've found that comfortable point of resistance, pausing here, inhaling, opening up to that left armpit, reaching that elbow up to the ceiling, right hand, right shoulder, rolling that shoulder back and down. Inhaling, growing tall. Exhale, softening through those shoulders, settling into the stretch here. Finding the point in the wall to focus on. Making sure we're nice and tall through the spine, head and neck, not hunching over. One more breath. And releasing that right arm, releasing that left hand. Ooh, that's always a nice one for the shoulders. Placing the strap down to one side for now. Giving those arms and shoulders a little shrug. So we're feeling a little bit more open through there. All right, coming to the top of the mat now. Having the feet hip width apart. Bringing some movement into the body now, warming up to get ready for what we're going to do for the rest of the class. So, inhaling, rising the arms up overhead. You can keep the arms either shoulder width apart, or if you're a bit more open in the shoulders, bringing the palms together, fingertips to touch, thumbs crossing over. You choose, whatever feels more comfortable. And either looking straight forward or lifting the chin, looking up towards the hands. Inhaling here. Exhaling, bending from the hips, swan dive down into a forward fold, either pressing the hands on the mat, the feet or the shins, wherever you can reach. Exhaling as we're coming down here, inhaling, rising up. Exhaling, coming down, forward fold. If the legs are a bit tight, do feel free to have a wee bend with the knees, but lifting that tailbone up and away. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling. This time we'll take a couple of breaths here. Exhaling in your own time. If you're feeling nice and open, you can lift the chest up and away. Maybe bring a slight back bend into the posture here. One more breath. Inhaling and exhaling, swan dive, bending from the knees, hinging at the hips, releasing the torso down. All right, taking a few breaths here as well. Again, placing the hands wherever they're comfortable, mat, feet, shins, maybe even thighs as well. Letting the torso hang heavy, letting the head and neck be nice and soft and loose. Reaching the tailbone up and away. One more breath. All right, inhaling, lifting the head, lifting the chest, stepping the right foot back, coming into a low lunge, walking the left foot into the center between the hands, and just going to rock back and forth. See if you can get a nice stretch into the calf muscle of the right foot. All right, releasing that right knee down to the floor. Bring the top of the foot down to the mat. And just releasing the hips forward. Opening up through the chest, rolling the shoulders back and down. You can't quite reach the floor, you can use some blocks here. We're just softly, gently releasing through the right hip here. All right, one more breath here. Walking, releasing the hips back, walking the left foot out to the edge of the mat, walking the right hand into the center, and either bring the left hand up onto the knee, or if you're feeling nice and stable, you can lift up the hand, reaching the left arm up to the ceiling. So whichever you choose, gently twisting towards the left knee. Again, releasing down through this right hip. And if the neck is comfortable, you can turn the head and look over the left shoulder, or you can keep looking at the wall on the left side. One more breath. Slowly releasing out of that twist, bringing the left hand down to meet the right. And just releasing down through the center here. Gently squeezing the left knee in towards the left shoulder. Releasing the torso down to the center. And either staying here or starting to bend through the elbows, releasing the torso down. Just feeling nice and open through the hips. Maybe come down to the forearm. Maybe just one forearm down, one arm still bouncing on the hand, or you can bring both down to the center. Right, one more breath here. Coming back up onto the hands, very slowly releasing those hips back to the back of the room. Stretching through the left foot and calf here. Releasing back for a greater stretch of this left leg. And bring yourself forward again. Bring the left foot back into the center, coming up into that low lunge and stepping that right foot up to meet the left. All right, releasing back down into that forward fold for a moment. Maybe moving the hips from side to side. Seeing if you can notice the difference between both sides. Or we can just pause here in the center. Take one breath here. All right, inhaling, lifting the head, placing the hands down on the mat. Stepping that left foot back into the low lunge. And just moving back and forward. Seeing if you can find a nice spot in the left calf muscle. Get a little bit of a stretch through there. You can stay in one static position or be moving back and forward, whatever feels good. All right, releasing that left knee down to the mat, placing the top of the foot down, bring the right foot into the center. And now I didn't cue this on the other side, but you can also use some blocks here as well to help release into the hip. So if you're feeling quite tight, you can come up onto the long edge of the mat, just take a little bit of pressure off the arms and then focus on releasing down. You can do a medium height as well. Maybe bring them forward a bit more and really allow yourself to soften through that left hip flexor, through that quadricep. This really helps you open up through the chest. All right, one more breath here. Walking that right foot out towards the right. Bring both hands into the center. Walking that left hand into the center, right hand coming up onto the right knee. And either staying here, gently twisting to the right, or we can open up through that right arm, lifting the right arm up. I'm going to stick keeping my hand on the knee today. Inhaling, growing tall, exhale, softening through the hips. If the neck is okay, you can keep turning the head, look over that right shoulder. One more breath here. And then gently untwisting out of that stretch. All right, both hands at the center. Again, you can stay upright like this, or you can start to bend through the elbows. This is another great place to use the blocks or a cushion. If you can't make it all the way down onto the forearms, you can place your forearms on these blocks. Using props is a really great way to take any pressure off areas that you don't want to stretch and enable you to really soften into the areas that you do want to soften into. All right, one more breath here. If you're down on the forearms, coming up into the hands. Very slowly releasing out of that left hip stretch, nice and slow. Pushing those hips back. Keeping the right foot down on the floor for now. I know my feet really appreciate this stretch. Not very often that we get to stretch the top of our foot. All right, and you can keep walking back, keeping those hips back. Again, getting a little bit of stretch in through the calf. The opposite foot with the toes as well. Right, coming forward back into tabletop position, releasing that right foot back. Bring the big toes to touch, knees walking out towards the edges of the mat and releasing the hips back down. Coming into Balasana, into child's pose, reaching those arms forward and releasing the chest, releasing the head down. Placing the forehead on the mat or releasing the head to one side. Taking a breather here. One more breath. Inhaling, looking forward to the hands, pushing through the hands, lifting yourself back up to a tabletop position. All right. Coming down onto the seat. Bring the left foot forward, squaring the left foot with the front edge of the mat. Right foot, you can either keep the shin and the top of the foot coming down towards the mat, or you can rotate your lower leg and bring the hip and that leg out towards the right, just depending on how open the hips are. And we really want to encourage that right hip down towards the mat. Ideally, we'd like our sit bones both sitting down on the mat. If it's not, that's all right. You can grab your blanket, prop yourself up, pop it underneath the gap. And this will just enable you again to release down into the side. So finding the leg position that works for you, the blanket, place a blanket or a jumper underneath that right hip. Growing tall with the spine, head and neck, rolling the shoulders back and down. Inhaling, growing tall. Exhale, soften through both of those hips. Release and relax down into this posture. It can be quite an intense stretch through the inner thigh and hip on the right side, maybe into the knee as well. Right, one more breath here. Right, very slowly lifting the right knee, bring it forward, bring both legs forward, giving them a little wiggle. And repeating that to the other side. I'll just turn around so you can see from this angle. So right leg this time will be squaring to the front of the mat. Left leg coming out to the left. Again, either bring the shin and the foot, top of the foot down towards the mat, or opening it through the lower left leg so that the inside of the foot is face down onto the floor and the inside of the shin also face down to the floor. Again, if the sit bones aren't square and sitting down on the mat, do place a blanket or a cushion under that left hip just to prop you up and give you some support. But we want to be heading in the direction of encouraging that left hip down towards the mat to the floor. This is my tadasana, so I can really feel it through that inner thigh, but into the knee as well today. Growing tall through the spine, the neck. Inhaling, lifting up out of the waist. Exhaling, softening through the right and the left hips. Really sinking into that left hip. One more breath here. And very slowly releasing that left leg. Bring both legs straight. Give them a little wiggle. All right, bending both knees. We'll bring the left leg underneath. Right foot on top. This time we want both of the shins square towards the front of the mat. And we want to try and stack both of the shins like on top of each other. Again, quite an intense stretch through the hip and knees, so please do the gentle with the body. Ideally, we'd like the right foot on top of the left knee, left foot directly underneath the right knee. But if you're up here today, that's fine, it's just where you're at. If you are up quite high, do feel free again to pop something else underneath the hip or your knee, just so that you can really relax into this posture. Otherwise, just letting it hang out, let gravity do its thing. Place your hand on top of knee to encourage it down a little bit further to wherever you're at today. Taking a few breaths here. Nice and tall through the spine, nice and relaxed through the shoulders. And just using that breath to soften joints. Exhaling. Soften through the hips, soften through the knee. Alright, one more breath. And releasing that right leg. Bring it down nice and slow. Give it a wiggle from side to side. Big leg two. And soften the side, so right foot and leg on the bottom now. Left foot coming up and over. Again, attempting to square the hips, square the legs, so that the left leg's on top of the right, right underneath the left. Take a little bit of playing around, and just notice how this side is feeling. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. You never know. Tall through the spine, nice and relaxed through the shoulders. One more breath here. And just releasing that left foot. Bring the legs along again. Give them a little shake. Right. Getting both knees again. Bringing the soles of the feet together. Bringing those heels in towards the pelvis as close as you can, and just allowing the hips to release down. Open the hips and release the knees down toward the mat. Again, just allowing gravity to do its thing. Again, if your knees are up here, that's cool. If they're right down the floor, that's cool also. Always all in different places. Our own bodies. So again, growing tall through the neck, up through the waist. Holding on to the feet, or you can place the hands down onto the knees if you encourage them down a little bit. But ideally, encouraging our legs down with our leg muscles themselves. Don't want to put any undue stress on top of the knee. So applying a little bit of pressure with thigh muscles, encouraging those knees down towards the floor, growing tall through the spine, opening up through those inner thighs. And you can stay here, or if you like, you can start bringing the body forward. Again, making sure the spine is nice and straight and that we're hinging from the hips. As you come forward, you can gently push your elbows into the thighs, applying some gentle pressure. Inhaling, growing tall, exhale, softening through the hips, releasing that torso forward. Slow and steady. One more breath. You've come all the way down, releasing the hands, pushing yourself back up to seated position nice and slow. Walking the hands back, bring the torso back up, releasing the legs, bringing those knees back in, releasing the legs long, giving the legs a little wiggle. All right, releasing back down onto the mat. Back down onto our backs. Bring our feet in towards the hips. And just a windshield wiper the legs back and forward a couple of times, to the right, to the left. And now bring both knees over to the right. Releasing the knees down. Bring the left foot over the right foot up. Placing that right foot on top of the left knee and releasing those knees down towards the floor. Hands can either stay alongside the torso, you bring them up onto the body, whatever feels more comfortable. Again, just opening out through those hips. Inhaling and exhaling, softening those joints. One more breath here. Releasing the right foot from the left knee. Bring both knees back up to center. Knees are hip width apart. And dropping both knees over to the left this time. Bring the left foot up onto the right knee. And releasing both knees down. Taking a few breaths here again. One more breath. Releasing the left foot. Bring both knees back up to center. Right. Bring the right leg and foot up on top of the left knee. Opening that right knee up and out. Reaching our arms through the middle, grabbing onto the back of the left calf muscle. And just gently bringing that knee closer towards the chest while keeping the arms outstretched. So building a little bit of resistance between the right leg and the left leg. Right leg pushing down, left leg pushing up. Opening up through the right knee, the right hip here. One more breath here. Releasing the hands, crossing that right knee over the left, as if you're crossing your knees sitting in a chair. Bringing the hands, grabbing the left knee, and squeezing both of those knees in towards the chest. A little bit of compression here. One more breath. Releasing both legs down the mat, releasing the right foot. Bring the left foot over, passing the shin over the right knee, reaching through, grabbing a hold of the back of the left leg, gently pushing the left knee outwards, pushing the left ankle down to the top of the right knee pushing back. One more breath. Right, releasing the hands, crossing the left leg over, squeezing both those knees in towards the chest. One more breath. And releasing those legs back down. All right, grabbing your strap. And if you've got to get a strap, you can create a loop. Otherwise, just placing. You don't need to have a loop if you don't have a yoga strap. This can just be quite useful at times. Your hand get right through. Right, either placing the loop or just placing your strap around the bottom of the right foot. Extending the left leg long. Pushing up through the right heel. And soft hands and arms, just very gently using the weight of your own arms to push down on the strap. Opening up through the hamstrings and the back of the leg. Again, finding that point of resistance. Maybe getting a stretch if you're not in any pain. One more breath. Placing both sides of the strap into the right hand and releasing that right leg and foot out towards the right. Softening through that right hip, just allowing that right hip to open up through the right. One more breath. Inhaling, drawing that right leg back up to center. Bring the left hand into the strap. Right hand coming down, palm press down. And bringing that right leg across the body to the left. Making sure that you're still extending away through the left foot and leg. And you can either keep looking up at the ceiling, or you can turn your head to the right, looking on the right arm. One more breath. If your head is turned, bring it back to center. Inhaling, drawing the right leg back up to center. And releasing the right leg back down. Right. Bring the left foot into the loop, taking the right foot out. Inhaling, using the leg muscles, just drawing that leg up to center. Reaching that left heel up and away. Just applying a little bit of pressure to the hands and the arms on the strap. Finding that point of resistance for the left leg, so having a nice stretch through the leg but not being in pain. One more breath. Bring the strap to the left hand, opening up through that left hip. Allowing the legs to drop down and away. Softening through that left hip socket. One more breath. Inhaling, lifting that left leg up back to center. Bring the strap into the right hand, left hand coming down, palm press down to the floor. Bring that left leg across the body to the right. Slowly releasing that leg back down. Keep extending out through that right leg, extending out through both heels. And either looking up to the ceiling or turning the head and looking along the left arm. One more breath. Turning the head back to center. Inhaling, drawing that left leg back up. And releasing the leg back down to the right. All right. Rolling over onto the right side. Pushing yourself back up. Placing the strap on the side. Coming on to the tabletop position, hands into the hips, knees into the hips. This time bringing the left knee to the left hand, left foot towards the right hip, and releasing the right leg long, releasing the hips down towards the heel, walking the hands back, keeping the hips square to the front of the mat, drawing nice and tall through the spine, rolling the shoulders back and down, lifting up and out of the hips. Pausing here. Again, releasing down through those hips, releasing down to the mat. One more breath. And walking the hands forward, releasing the torso down over the left leg. One more breath. Pushing into the hands, bring the torso back up, reaching up through the crown of the head, walking the hands forward again, pushing into the hands, tucking the right toes under, lifting the knee up, sliding that the left foot back, coming back into tabletop position. All right, right side this time. Right knee towards right hand, right foot coming in towards the left hip. Walking that left knee back, straightening through that left knee. Sinking down through the hips. Throwing the hips to the front of the mat. Walking those hands back. Lifting up the torso, going up over the hips. Releasing through both hip sockets. Taking a couple of breaths here. Using the strength of the back, straighten up through the spine. One more breath. And now walking the hands forward, releasing the torso over that right leg. Coming all the way down. One more breath here. Pushing into the hands, lifting the torso back up, opening up through the chest, drawing tall through the spine. Pushing into the hands, tucking the toes above the left foot. Pushing back into tabletop position. Bring big toes to touch, knees coming out wide, releasing the hips back and down into sharp pose. Releasing the back, releasing the hips. Taking a breath here. Inhaling, looking forward, pushing back up to tabletop position. Walking the knees in, releasing back down onto the bottom. Legs extending forwards. Bring the toes and the feet together, the shins, the knees, the inner thighs. Growing tall through the sideways, front and back of the body. Rolling the shoulders back and down, hands alongside the hips. Finding a spot on the wall to focus on. Strong and start pose. Balasana. Keep flexing those toes back, engaging through the muscles. Inhaling, bringing arms up overhead, exhaling, hinging from the hips, extending those arms long, reaching forward, and placing the hands wherever they land, either by the toes, the feet, the shins, and the knees. You can also use a strap here if you can't quite reach the feet. Pull yourself forward. Whatever position that you're in, nice and long through the spine, hinging from the hips. Nice and soft with the shoulders, head and neck. Looking forward towards the toes, or spot just in front of the toes. Lengthening through those hamstrings. Keep flexing those toes and those feet back, engage through the leg muscles and the quadricep muscles, lifting those knee gaps. One more breath. Releasing the hands, releasing the strap, bring the hands alongside the legs, push into the hands, walking the torso back up to seated. Right. Releasing back down onto the back. And the soles of the feet together, releasing the knees out. And just noticing how those hips are feeling now. Should be feeling a bit more open, less tension through the legs. One more breath. Reaching down to the outside of the thighs, pushing those knees back in together. Bringing the knees out towards the chest, squeezing those knees in towards the chest, rocking side to side. We could do some little circles with the lower back and the knees. Going anti-clockwise a few times, clockwise a few times. Pausing in the center, inhaling, and exhaling, lifting the head, lifting the chest, bringing the chin in close toward the knees, squeezing the knees in. See how close you can get your chin and your knees together. And gently releasing the shoulders and the head back down. And releasing the legs long. All right. Getting ready for shavasana. So if you like, you can use your blanket here to keep yourself warm. Or put on any extra clothing, socks and jumpers. Releasing back down onto the back. Nice and slow and controlled. Legs and hips apart, distance. Arms releasing alongside the body. Letting the arms roll away. Tucking the chin to the chest ever so slightly, releasing the back and neck along the mat. And just coming back into the breath. Breathing in through the nose, back to the throat, down into the lungs. Out of the lungs, back to the throat, out through the nose. Finding the spot on the ceiling to focus on. And then slowly soften your gaze on that spot on the ceiling. And or closing the eyes. Bring your mind back to the breath. Feeling the coolness of the air coming in through the nose, back to the throat, down to the lungs, out of the lungs, back to the throat, and the warmth of the air coming out through the nose. Bring your awareness to the body, feeling the weight of the body on the mat or the floor, on the areas of the body that are touching the floor, back the heels, calf muscles, knees, hamstrings, the glute muscles, the lower back, mid back, upper back, the right shoulder blade, the left shoulder blade, the back of the right arm, forearm, back of the right hand, the back of the left arm, forearm, back of the left hand, the whole spine, the neck, and the back of the head. Feeling the weight of these points pushing down onto the mat. Feel the stillness of those points. And feel the lightness of the body lifting up the mat. Feel the space, and the muscles and the tissues. Feeling the lightness and airiness of the joints. Now, as if viewing your body from above, bring your mind to the shape that your body is in on the floor. The color of your clothing, the texture of your clothing and skin. Not feeling the air and the skin. Now bringing your mind to sounds outside of the room. What's the farthest sound you can hear out in the distance? Just allowing your mind to move from sound to sound without focusing too closely on each one, without allowing your mind to attach a thought to the sound. Now listening to the sounds inside the room, allowing your mind to move from sound to sound. Now bringing your mind gently back to the breath. Breathing in through the nose, back of the throat, down to the lungs. Out of the lungs, back of the throat, out through the nose. Now we'll take 3 deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling with a sigh. Inhaling. One more time, inhaling. Now slowly beginning to wriggle the fingers and the toes. Maybe rock the head side to side if that feels good. Nice and slow, nice and gentle. Pausing in the center. When you feel ready, rolling over onto your right side, pausing there for a moment. And then when you feel ready, pushing yourself back up to a seated position, keeping the eyes closed. And just noticing how the body is feeling now. How the breath is feeling now. How the mind is feeling now. To close the practice, we will chant 3 Oms, taking 1 breath to prepare, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling for Om. Hands into heart center, rubbing the hands together, creating a little bit of heat. Placing the hands over the eyes, opening the eyes, peering into the palms of the hands, allowing the eyes to adjust to the light. Placing the hands over the cheeks now. And over the throat and neck. Placing the hands together again. Rubbing the hands together, backs of the hands, forearms, fingers and thumbs. And back to the center. Placing the hands into the chest. Thank you for joining me for class today. I certainly hope that you're feeling more aligned in your right and left sides.